is a catechist, and how does one become a catechist in the Presbyterian Church of Ghana? The program is the Presbyterian Show, the program that discusses everything Presbyterian. Today we have a fine gentleman in our midst who is a catechist in one of the congregations of PCG. He's going to tell us about himself and how he became a catechist in the PCG. Let's take a break. When we come back, we meet our catechist. Don't go away.
This is a voice sampled for Ed Music Studio. As part of our strategy to meet the vocal requirements of our most cherished clients, we have sampled different voice clips to aid clients appreciate the clarity of our voices and our delivery styles. Check out our other voice samples and pick what suits your brand the most. You can reach us for your jingles and voiceovers on 0244-207-397 or 0271-223-444 or 0302-327-039. Thank you for listening.
Welcome back. The program is the Presbyterian Show, the program that discusses everything Presbyterian. Now today we are discussing catechism, or looking at who a catechist is and how one becomes a catechist in the Presbyterian Church of Ghana. We have a fine catechist in our midst by name Catechist Eric Prekum. Catechist, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
So tell me, who is a catechist?
A catechist, briefly, is an agent of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana. Mm-hmm. We have the minister, who is also an agent, and the catechist. Both are custodians of the church. Mm-hmm. With specific rules.
So what is the role of a catechist in the PCG?
When we say someone is a catechist in the Presbyterian Church of Ghana, he is specifically given an assignment or instructions. Mm-hmm. One, he is supposed to be someone who can train candidates, prepare them for confirmation.
Okay.
Also, he is supposed to be someone who is able to educate, to teach, and also lead members to Christ. Specific roles are assigned. Basically, a catechist can be in charge of a preaching point.
Okay.
When a congregation is started up from a preaching point, by then it's supposed to be a caretaker.
Okay.
So what happens is, at the initial stage, a district may decide to bring up a church.
Okay.
At the initial stage, they look at someone to take care of the preaching point. A caretaker is being appointed.
Right.
And the constitution says that that person must go through training.
Okay. So to start with, which congregation do you currently head?
Thank you very much. I'm currently with Riaboman Preaching
Riaboman Preaching Point. Where is it?
Within Dansoman district of the Gan West Presbytery.
Okay, so you are the catechist at that congregation?
Yes.
Okay. Now, you were telling me about the role of the catechist. You know, in some churches or in some congregations, there's a deputy minister, right? Okay. So there's a deputy and there's a catechist.
Minister.
There's an associate minister and there's a catechist. Aren't your roles conflicting?
Thank you very much. Like I said earlier on, we have specific role for both agents. The minister in charge, we all have charges as agents of the church.
Okay.
In the absence of a minister, a catechist is in charge.
Okay.
But where we have a minister and a catechist, a minister is in charge and a catechist with a charge.
Okay.
In that case, it is the minister who takes every part or the administrative role of the church with the support or assistance with the catechist and the second minister where there is.
Okay.
So basically that is the difference between
who qualifies to be a catechist in the church?
I would say every believer
okay,
qualifies to be a catechist, but it also depends on your infilling, the let's say the desire, the passion. When you think you have the calling, it is up to you to make it known or declare your intention to the local or the congregational session.
So you're saying it's a calling?
It's a calling.
How do you know that it's a calling? How do you feel the calling?
It depends. It depends, and it is an individual feeling. You will say that someone will be doing anything within the church. You identify a young guy or a lady who is very, very effective.
Okay.
Will be playing a vital role in the upbringing of the church.
Okay.
The congregation might decide to train that person.
Okay.
And personally, you might feel like, oh, I feel or I can be in the position of a catechist. It is up to you to declare your intention to the local session.
Okay.
You know, we have courts within the church.
Exactly.
We have the General Assembly, the Presbytery, the district, and then the congregation. So within the congregation, that is the first step. I declare my intention to the session. With their approval, they forward it to the district.
Is it a full-time role?
It is a part-time.
It's part-time.
Part-time, but we also have some catechists who are full-time.
What would inform the appointment of a full-time catechist vis-a-vis a part-time catechist?
It depends on the location,
Okay.
the congregation, and then the personality also involved. Yes. For instance, within the Presbytery, we don't have many full-time catechists. Most of us are part-time.
Okay.
Yes. The issue being that most of our ministers are full-time. And then catechists, as it is, in quotes, in terms of, let's say, salaries or allowances, you see, a catechist cannot be compared to that of a minister.
Why is that so?
Yes. Though we are in the same line, but like I said, with specific or different assignment roles, yes, as a catechist.
So what is it, what kind of assignments can a minister undertake that a catechist cannot undertake?
For instance, as I said earlier on, it is the mandatory duty of the catechist to prepare candidate for confirmation.
Okay.
He is also to train,
Yes.
educate, and lead members to Christ.
Yes.
So, as a catechist, I can train members for confirmation, but I cannot confirm them.
Why?
It is the sole business of the minister.
Is that
the constitution?
Okay, so it's not like it's grounded in scripture.
No,
It's just
no.
an administrative
So,
thing.
when you pick the constitution, we have Article 7.
Okay.
That specifies the roles of a catechist, and then that of a minister. So Article 5 gives that, 6 gives that of the minister, and then 7 that of the catechist. So now the constitution says that a catechist may prepare candidate for baptism and then confirmation. So it is up to me as a catechist to inform the minister every step, or he can even assign you, whereby we have a catechist and a minister in charge.
Okay.
So the minister might assign me as a catechist to train these people. So he have the oversight responsibility to supervise whatever as a catechist I do, because I relay information to him.
Okay.
I am not working on my own. I take instruction from the minister, where we have a catechist and a minister in charge.
So in the event that your minister is away, the associate is also away, and there's supposed to be, let's say, baptism or confirmation, or what do you call it?
Communion.
Communion.
Yeah. So
What happens?
let me use my place as a case study. It's a preaching point, and I'm the catechist in charge.
Yes.
So what happens is,
So do you have a minister there, or you are the overall boss at your preaching point?
I am the catechist in charge.
Okay.
So in charge means administratively.
Okay.
Yes, but I report to the district minister.
Right. Right.
So let's say communion.
That's right.
It is up to me to liaise with the district minister, because it is his sole responsibility to have the oversight responsibility or give pastoral care to all congregations within his jurisdiction. So where we don't have a minister but there is a catechist, for instance a communion, I need to inform the minister.
Yes.
So he will go through the ministers
And
then get someone to administer
Is
the
it going to be injurious if a catechist is made or is given the
administer the whole
exactly
the sacrament.
how injurious is going to be for the communicants?
To them, they wouldn't feel anything because they need the communion.
Exactly.
But we need to understand the system.
Okay.
We need to be principled. We need to
Okay.
be disciplined
Okay.
as a Christian community.
Okay.
That says the Constitution that the role of the catechist is to prepare, and then the minister administer.
Is it a tough job being a catechist?
Yes and no.
Tell me the yes.
Yes, because like I'm using my point as a case study, as a preaching point, you have to struggle. You begin with them. Everything has to do with the catechist going through the scratch, training members, and then it gets to a time, and then it becomes a great or a big congregation. There comes a pastor or a minister.
Okay.
And that is the responsibility of the church, to transfer a minister, to supervise, because in the eyes of the church, it's now a bigger congregation.
So somebody else must come
to
head
and then
the place. So, but can't a catechist be elevated to become a minister?
you can, and that also follows a process.
Okay, right. So let's look at the trajectory. How can let's say I'm called.
Yeah.
I've felt the calling. Okay, and I want to be a catechist. How do I go about it? Apart from discussing with session and the minister, what is the structure like? The training structure like?
Yeah, like I said, you make your intentions known.
Yes.
They forward it to the district.
Yes.
The district to the presbytery, and now they train you. The reason being that, unlike the minister, where General Assembly or presbytery can do the posting, within the district, they have to get a vacant congregation before they train a catechist.
Okay.
So let's say with a preaching point, the caretaker who starts can go through the process and become a trained catechist. Now the system is such.
Hold the thought. Let me not cut you. It's becoming very interesting.
Okay.
So we'll take a break. When we come back, I want to understand how one becomes a catechist. Folks, the program is the Presbyterian Show. We are discussing how one becomes a catechist, what at all is a catechist, or who is a catechist, with catechist Eric Prekum. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll look at the processes of becoming a catechist in the PCG. Don't go away. Welcome back. The program is the Presbyterian Show. We're discussing everything Presbyterian. Today we're looking at who a catechist is and how one becomes a catechist. We have catechist Eric Che Prekon in our midst, and he's been telling us about his role as a catechist in the PCG. Now, catechist, we were at how one becomes a catechist. Do you need to go to Trinity before you become a catechist?
No.
So is there a formal training school that?
Yes, the church has training centers.
Okay.
And the major training center is Ramsey Training Center.
Ramsey Training Center.
Yes, and then I think they have one at Nsaba. Yes. And what happens is, like I was saying, you should not be less than 25 at the time of entry.
Okay.
And not more than 55 years.
Okay.
So within the ages of 25 and then 50, if you feel like you have the calling, the passion to be an agent, it's up to you to impress and make your session know that indeed he's capable of being a catechist. So they then forward your forms to the district, They will also vet you in the form of interview.
Okay.
And after you go through, they forward your details to the presbytery.
Okay.
Then you begin your training sessions.
At Ramsey.
It depends on where.
Exactly.
Yes.
And what's the duration?
But in my case, I went to Ramsey Training Center.
What's the duration of the training?
It's 3 years, but compiled within 1 year.
Why? 3 years and it is so compacted into 1 year. Why? Why is that so?
Yes. The agency at the grounds also speaks. For instance, the 1 year, you go and then you have 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Then you come back as the first semester.
Okay.
Then you go the second term. So within 1 year, you might have completed the 3-term course. And then what happens next is, in the midst or in the time when you are going through your studies, the school needs to relate with the presbytery and then the district who sent you, give information about your upkeep, your well-being. Probably you came but you are not even studying.
Yeah.
They need to report. And after completion and everything is okay, they now forward the names of all candidates who qualify to be a catechist to the presbytery and then to the district.
Okay, so I asked you whether it was a tough job being a catechist. You said yes and no.
Yes and
you
no.
answered one part. So what's the no part?
The no is, it depends on how you relate with your minister. Many catechists will say working with ministers is very difficult. It depends on how you relate with the minister and also how you understand the job.
Okay.
Yes, because as an agent, we are transiting. For instance, today we have my preaching point. Tomorrow I might be at Christ or Victory. So you also need to understand that wherever you go, for instance, I'm alone as an agent in charge, but I might be at Christ who might have a minister in charge. You are not going to work under the minister. So it is up to you how you understand the work, how you relate with the ministers. It will also make it probably tough or difficult, simple for you. Yes.
Okay, so and you're supposed to operate within your district or your presbytery?
Yeah, as a catechist, the transfer should be internal, but where it becomes necessary for you to be transferred outside your district, you need to liaise with the district and then the presbytery. So the district will rather write a letter to the presbytery where you are being transferred into. Let's say you are within Asante Presbytery in Kumasi. Your work schedule has transferred you to Accra. You are now coming to Accra, which is probably Gan Presbytery or Gan West. So they relate or liaise with the presbytery where you are going to work. Introduce you as a catechist, consecrated catechist. The word consecrated catechist, because we have caretakers and we have catechists who have gone through the school but without consecration. So you don't become an agent and custodian of the church.
Now you're confusing me. Now you're saying that there are different types of catechists in the church. There's the consecrated and there's the unconsecrated catechist.
Now the difference is, like I was saying earlier on, after completion, the presbytery or the school organizes a consecration.
Which is what? Is it graduation?
Is it a normal graduation? Is done at the school.
Okay, so
and
what
the
is
consecration? Is to give you the mandate, the office as an agent within the Presbyterian Church of Ghana.
Oh, okay.
So without the consecration, you are not being given a charge.
So that means you are not a catechist yet, or you're still a catechist but not consecrated.
Not consecrated.
How different is that from a layperson?
A catechist is also a layperson.
So who's a layperson?
A layperson, anyone within the church, let's say a service leader, is a layperson.
Okay.
When you preach, you are a layperson.
Why the term layperson?
Lay because...
As in L-A-Y?
L-A-Y. Lay because it is a primary work that anyone can do.
Oh, okay.
But when you become, let's say, a catechist or a minister, you are now entrusted. You are given the charge.
They become an agent.
To manage the church. So you are now in... The church lies in your bosom as an agent.
Okay.
Administratively, the finances, and even the members.
How many members do you superintend in your congregation?
Congregation right now, I'm heading to about 200.
200 members.
200, yes. Children's service through the adults.
And do you see the preaching point being elevated to a congregation anytime soon?
Per the Constitution, after 5 years, you are supposed to be inaugurated or elevated.
And you need to apply for it? Or the district minister would identify that and then make that recommendation? So you cannot make a case for an elevation?
The congregation or the preaching point can also
make the case for it. 20 years ago, do you see yourself as a catechist?
No.
So what was the aspiration? What drove you into becoming a catechist?
Growing up, I always had a passion, and then people see you and call you Osofo. Then, like, where I'm coming from, the home that I'm coming from is a Christian-centered home.
Presbyterian home?
A Presbyterian home.
Okay.
Born and bred a Presbyterian.
Where did you grow up?
Kwemkwitia.
Kwemkwitia?
Yes.
So why didn't you serve as a catechist in Kwemkwitia?
I could have, but this is where I find myself.
Okay.
Yes. So in 2013, the journey began when I was appointed as a caretaker.
Okay.
At Grace Congregation within the Ansroman.
Right.
And incidentally, I was also elected as the district president for Young People's Guild, that is YPG, at the same